Hey there! Welcome back again to another episode of Minecraft, and today we are going to be working a little more on the flower farm to begin with, because I have been doing work on it over the previous week, and we're going to start off by examining the work that has been done. It's just about to turn nighttime now, and the reason for that is when it turns nighttime the flower farm will start flashing, and then afterwards it will apply the bone meal. Because you see, I have been taking the control signal from here and leading it over to the orchid farm over in the other end here. And so far results are promising. So we're going to have a look at it real quick, the wiring, see how it is done. It's two signals going over there, one for the flushing and one for the reapplication of bone meal. And the way I have done it is that I've let a dual stream down here, like that, and I've just crossed it over here. If you are familiar with how redstone works, a block like this, which is powered by a redstone repeater, will strongly power the block, which will power any adjacent redstone at the same level. So this here, powering this one over there, will cause power to go through, but this repeater here only cares about the level behind it and sends it to the block in front, which has no effect on this here. So without having to go up or down another level, I can transfer the power through here, and as soon as we see the water start to flow at the coming of nighttime, we will see the power going in this direction here. And then once this one comes down, we will see it going across here without actually interfering with this circuit here. So that's the whole idea here. And it should be any moment now that we see it. Oh, there we go. And the signal is through. So you see here, the signal here passes through because this repeater doesn't care about the block beneath it. It only cares about things on its own level. So we can pass power through the block without having to go up and down, as I said, and it just passes the power down the line here. I'm using this configuration here with the repeater just to save one unit of redstone per extension. So running them 15 and 15, and then a repeater and a block all the way to the end. And it's running, as I said, about 120 blocks. But it seems to correctly pass the signal all the way, so that's good. And it goes all the way down here to the end where we have the orchid farm, or at least what will be the orchid farm. Here's the cave that I hit. There was a lava pool in here, which has been cleared out. Used the opportunity to gather a little bit of obsidian, and then up here I made a stairway down, which I have proceeded to interrupt with stuff. And if we go up here, all the way to the top, we come out here, just beneath the house that is the entrance to the orchid patch. Now, I don't know if I will, I don't think I'll make a separate or like a conjoined maintenance path, because the wiring is leading over here, so I might as well lead that into the maintenance path anyway, and then make a separate entrance here. But over here we have the first pad, and the water is supposed to come in here and will then flow down, and if we place the water we can see this happening. So we'll just do that. The water flows down here. Over here it flows to this point and then stops, and that drops down below there. And we will see where that connects up, because the other path here goes over here. One of them comes over here and again comes to an end. And the other one here goes down here. That receives the drop from there. Goes down here, receives the drop from there. Goes down here and here, which has to drop from there, and then it goes down here, spreads out in two directions, and back here. And you can see on the color of the water, I could also do it with the F3 menu, but if you check the color of the water, it is all swampland. So that means that every one of these pads will be producing orchids. And at this level here we are at 38 approximately, which means that there's even more space to extend it further if I want to do that. For now I'm going to leave it at that level though, and then see what we get out of it. At this point I probably produce more, or I will probably produce more orchids than I will produce anything else anyway, so it's not really a huge issue, but there's a lot of people who has the orchid as one of their favorite flowers, so I figured it's not a bad thing if we produce extra amounts of that. But yeah, one of the things that needs to be done is we need to plant the grass seeds here and let it grow. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be planting the first seed of grass right here. Let's just place a torch on it to help it along, and then we will continue here with replacing the stone so we can get the dirt in. Help ourselves along by making the grass grow, and then we can pretty up the farm later. As with the other farm, I'm going to dig out a cave around it so that it actually looks nice. And then I'm going to go in and place the dispensers and stuff and all that kind of stuff. Basically, I'm going to place the dirt, let the grass grow, dig out the cave, pretty out the pads, put in the dispensers, then remodel the cave so it fits, and then we will be at a point where we can start really doing something with the farm. Basically, as soon as the dispensers are in, we can start using it, but there might be a little more to do yet, but it's coming along, and hopefully soon we'll be able to start producing orchids in vast numbers. And the reason for wanting to do that is, or do it now rather, is that the other farm at this point is approximately 1/4 through the full run, and I'd rather do this one before it runs out completely. So that's my idea anyway. Let's just get that in. And the dirt should be able to spread down from there, but just to help it along, we'll place a block on either one of these. And over here, I think a torch dropped off. So we'll just do that. And then just hop over here so that we can go and gather that piece of stone that I dropped. If I can find my way to the pad, of course. Let's take this one out. And there we go. So, yeah, this is how the flower farm is coming along. Soon the last of the flowers that we have not yet covered is going to be covered in the farm, and we can start supplying people with those. Which will be kind of nice, considering until now I've been manually doing it. Which is a little bit of a hassle with the orchids. The orchids is by far the easiest one to do it with, of course, because, well, you're guaranteed to have orchids grow when you are in swampland. So that's quite nice. But yeah, other than that, it's still a bit of a hassle, because you have to bone meal and break, bone meal, break, all that stuff. And you can't do that the lighting trick that you could in the past, where you just have a dark room. Otherwise it'd really make flower farm like this almost redundant. I think you can still do it, but the way that you would have to do it is that you would have to take the flowers and then update, I think, either the grass or an adjacent block to one of the grass in order for it to work. Otherwise it won't pop off. Which you can do, it's just a bit of a bother. So yeah, oops. Well done. Oh, we'll just make another pickaxe here. Fumbling a little bit. So yeah, this week was Easter, and not today, but the day before today, yesterday, I went to my parents actually for Easter lunch. It's a tradition in my family that for holidays like this we have lunches together. And for this one we have a lunch that is Easter themed, and it's basically a lot of eating. We start around like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we weren't done until what was it? I went down at 9:20, which is like the normal time I leave my parents, so it's not really hugely unusual, but still it was still quite late, especially considering it was Friday, so I was going home and streaming afterwards. I'll be damned if I was going to let it like interrupt my uninterrupted run of streaming. So like, yeah, I have been streaming for the past like 32 or 33 weeks now without interruptions. I'll be damned if I'll let it interrupt me now. Let's just dig this out. You know what, I'll be right back with you after I dig this patch of gravel out, and then we'll continue. So be back in just a second. See you in a moment. Bye bye! And here we are back again, filled in the hole. And yeah, this Easter dinners or Easter lunches, it's basically like a standard Danish lunch celebration, except with Easter decorations, that sort of thing, which means that you have like a celebratory Danish lunch. Starts off with fish, which means that there's shrimp, there is pickled herring. Usually we have various types. We have curry pickled herring, we have normal pickled herring, spice pickled herring, and then we have shrimp salad, crab salad, various other stuff. We have eggs, we have fried fish fillets, all kinds of different fish stuff, and then after that we go to the main course, which is the hot meals, which is well, it's not only hot meals, it's also cold meals, but there is what is it called, leverpostej, which is liver pate. It's made of liver, fat and mushrooms, which are ground together into a pate, and then you bake it in the oven and you get this stuff. And it is quite nice. I don't like mushrooms. I ate it before I ate mushrooms, or I knew that there was mushrooms in it, is what I'm trying to say. And I still eat it now. Basically, I can eat it as long as I like the piece of mushroom isn't too big, which in my mother's homemade version isn't the case, so that's quite nice. And then you eat it for situations like this with bacon, and if you like that, whole mushrooms as well on top of it, like fried mushrooms, which I of course don't, because I don't like mushrooms. Then there's chicken salad with bacon and pineapple. What other stuff is there? There's fricadella, which is pan-fried meatballs. What more is there? Well, there's a bunch of other stuff as well, and then after all that is done, you then end off, after having spent some time like getting used to your stomach being completely overfilled, you then continue to the next course, which is the dessert, which is consisting of cheeses. So you have various types of cheese, and then you have it on bread and crackers, and it is usually served along with something like cognac. And again, 1 second, I'll just fill in this hole. Be right back. Bye. And we're back again. The hole is filled in again, and to continue where we left off. As you can imagine, after a feast like that, you are quite filled up on food and you eat way too much because you want to taste everything. So, yeah, that is it's definitely a bit of a trial, but it's a tasty trial. But yeah, I don't think I have to eat for a couple of days. So. Yeah, that is interesting. Just to let you know, we were having this celebration on Friday. As I said, I was going home streaming afterwards, my usual Friday hangout. Which means that today is Saturday that I'm recording this. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm actually having another series coming out today, which by the time that this episode goes out will be yesterday. And if you have noticed it, you will already know what it is. It is Stardew Valley, a game that I have been looking forward to playing for quite a while, but I had to finish making the graphics for it because I needed what is it called? I needed to make splash art and stuff to make it a series. I was thinking about doing it as what is it called? Doing it as a stream thing. But then again, I was thinking, like with the stream, you have some issues with that as well, because you are kind of forced to only play it when you are streaming, and sometimes I just want to sit down and play a game. And this game I'd rather actually just play as I go along. But as it turns out, the days in the game is about 15 to 20 minutes long. I haven't found the exact time yet, but that's approximately how long they are, which means that the episodes are that length, which is, well, most people will tell you that's the ideal time for a YouTube video anyway. So I've decided to make 1 day per episode, and instead do a 2 episode per week thing. So yes, that will be coming out on Saturdays as well as Wednesdays. And will be an ongoing series. So far I have recorded 11 episodes, but I am looking forward to recording more. I just need to record some other stuff before I can really continue on it, but I'll get to that. Let's see, let's stick the dirt in the correct chest, which is this one. And then let's hop up here, because I had another thing that I wanted to take care of here today, while the grass is growing over there. And that has something to do with these maps. So let's take those out. and these item frames, and we need 1 block of birchwood. And the reason for that is up here, over here, take down this, put that away, and then we will put in a full block there, put all 6 item frames there, and then we will place the maps. So 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is a map of the Flower Valley. You can see there is the farms, there is my house, this is the big tree house, this is the entryway which leads up to the tunnel that goes through the mountain there. We have the portal building there. We have the bridge and the path that leads over there to the other bridge and the orchid farm over there. And right there, the fishing hut and the fishing boat. I've been wanting to put this up for quite a while. I had these 4 done. If you notice the name of them, these were named significantly higher. And the reason for that was that I have all my buildings here designed according to an uneven number. So you can see a 3 wide. So a 2x2 map doesn't really fit in anywhere whatsoever. So I needed to find a good place for it. But as it turns out, I started building out towards this end here. You can see I already was there actually, because I had the road like cutting right there. So it would have been a good idea to get them anyway. But with the addition of the orchid farm and the fishing boat, I definitely needed to extend it a little bit, and now I have a map of the entire Flower Valley. And it's actually pretty much centered, like the valley is like this area right here, so that's quite nice. And I figured, what better way to put it than in here where guests will be living, so have it right over here by the little work desk. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The only thing we have left to do now is wait for the grass to grow. But you've seen grass grow before, so there is no real reason for you to see that. Cave noises all over the place. So we'll just pop right over there, have a look at where it is, and then we'll call this episode off for now. And be back next time with more stuff to do. Potentially more work on the farm. Not sure yet, but we will figure that out. That Strad is so nice. Gotten a little used to that. Which is one of the reasons why you shouldn't use enchantments. You get used to having them. When you suddenly don't, it's so slow. Yeah. It's starting to spread. Not the most cheerful colour of grass, but it's still nice. So, for now, I will call this episode off, and I hope very much that you have enjoyed it. A bit talky, a bit buildy, diggy. Actually, before I call it off, I have one more thing to show. So let's just pop right over there and show that, and then we'll call it off. Because I have been doing more work as well, other than just digging out the farm there and shaping the flower pads. And that's right over here by the what I've started to call my hobbit hole. Because I've been digging it out a little bit, and it won't be long now before we'll start building in there as well, so we might be doing that as well next week. But I need to do a little more thinking about what I want to do with the design. I'm thinking I want to bring down the floor a little bit so that I can have a stairway in, and also improve the size in here. But you can see here, this is the area. I've extended it 5 blocks in each direction here and 10 blocks in that direction. And I might consider extending it even further, but right now it is quite nice as it is. So yeah, that is where we're at. So with that, we are going to call this episode off here for real this time. Say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you again next week. Have a lovely day, and bye bye for now. Bye!